where to start or where to look or how to start comparing stuff. And the good thing is my sister having that knowledge, like she told me about you actually, and then she told me a little bit about you, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna give him your number, and then he's gonna message you or call you. And then pretty much she ended up calling me, I think a few days after she told me that.
So they came from you were saying, and Sam's awesome, very nice person, very, very, very nice. November came, right? And so you said something happened, you were like, something clicked.
I was just tired of it. I was tired of kind of just going through like month after month of just like this kind of not just physical but like emotional laziness. Kind of just like going through it. And I was like, I'm done. Like I'm starting what I keep telling myself, like I'm pushing it in the future. Like I'll do that later. I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna start now. This is the way I'm gonna start.
What I love about that moment you told me about is that I was actually studying the hero's journey, and I made a video on the hero's journey, and it's uploaded into evolutiontraining.net today, but it doesn't come out until like 90 days after it's sort of like paced out. It's like a course, and you have access to it.
Yeah.
And so the hero's journey goes into how a person answers a calling, and so let's just say that was you answered the calling within yourself. I want to be fit, and then there's an aspect there where something just happens, and a person puts it off for a little bit. That's part two. And you didn't know I was going to tell you this. I didn't know I was going to tell you this either. It's just, I happened to make this video today. It's already live right now today. And so then the third part is there's an aspect there where the person gets some help from a mentor, a coach, something, right? And that happens after when the person is ready, when the person's subconsciously ready. Isn't that interesting? And in a way, like November came, and again, I made the video, and it's already live, and it's not like so this is actually something I'm studying for years now, and then I made the video today, and I don't know, the hero's journey, I'll tell you after we're done with the video, or, maybe watch it in a few days or whatever.
Cool.
But what do you think about that, like the hero's journey?
No, it sounds really interesting. It sounds kind of like...
It's interesting, we're all in this, and so you would be you passed the threshold. Now you're in what's known as it's the unknown world, right? Like, so now we're in your story, and you're the hero of your story. So you're in the unknown world where you're in an adventure, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? I find it really interesting. And we all have that. Like, say this person named Sandy, she's down the street selling oranges. She's got her own hero's journey. And what I like about it is that if we see how we're a hero to our own story, it empowers us to say, okay, so what's going to happen next, right? And so what did you want? What was the ideal outcome? We started training. What was the ideal outcome for you?
All right. Well, I mean, going into it, by the time we first met and started talking about everything.
Let me frame that. I'm sorry. I don't interrupt you only. So let's just say we started and I asked you something. Then you could change your answer. It's fine. There's no, hey, you said that. If I asked you, and I'm asking you now, so 1 year from now, what is your ideal outcome, the perfect outcome? What is that ideal outcome in 1 year from now? For you training, for you getting into fitness, this journey of fitness?
My ideal outcome for sure will be, I'm going to be that kind of person where going to the gym or just exercise, it doesn't even have to be in a gym setting, just fitness is a part of my life. Like I live it, breathe it with everything else that's part of me. Physically, I know that I know where I'm at now, and I know that just pushing myself and always kind of pushing myself for more is going to get me to just a much more fit, toned version of myself with a lot more energy for every aspect of my life. So I know it's going to open up a lot of stuff. So it's pretty much that. Just
so to recap, to make it so that fitness is part of your life, part of your identity, your being, which is the best goal ever. And I told you today, we're going to do that for sure. That's what I do. I told you, good news is I have good news for Eric. We have the same goal.
Yeah.
And they're and it's almost like when I tell people, and I'm like, there's no but coming. Right? It's almost like people are right?
Yeah.
So that, and then you want more energy. And you also mentioned originally joy.
Yeah.
And one of my mentors tells me this, and it's not just for you, it's for me. He goes, the power plant doesn't have energy. The power plant generates energy. We don't have joy, we generate joy. And everything from the launches that we do in the morning that we talk about, all those are designed to generate energy and generate joy, right? Audible books, not answering our emails or stuff, all that's designed to help maximize this. Are you starting to feel the difference between?
Yeah.
So what have you noticed? Sure. Yeah, so day one, we know where you're at, so what have you noticed now after training for 30 days? What are some of the...
For sure.
And be as acidic and honest as possible, you know?
Well, for sure, at first it was kind of an adjustment to get with like the launch, just because The launches were Eric's first hour of the day, so they don't know what a launch is. Eric's first hour of the day has supplements, it has water, it has a certain, he doesn't answer the emails or Facebook for an hour or doesn't look at them. It's tempting, right? Because it's so right now in the world today, we're also used to like just seeing and knowing everything and seeing what everybody's up to.
So he has a from the time he wakes up, he has a checklist. And if you hit the checklist, what did you notice with the checklist when you started hitting those objectives, like the water, vitamin D under your tongue, check.
For sure, I noticed with the vitamins and just the water, how much my energy is kind of balanced out through the day. Because before I used to my mind was kind of like, okay, let's go for the day. And then it kind of just burned itself out. And then I kind of dragged for like the second half of the day, mainly for work. And for sure, after starting the launches, I kind of like it's kind of even energy kind of spread out through the day.
Right.
So yeah. And then just like the whole getting rid of like pushing away like social media or anything exterior and kind of just like giving yourself that time. Like it sounds so simple. It is difficult to start off with because like I'm so like used to just like looking at my phone and it's kind of like just a reflex. Like I don't even think about it and it's there.
I had the same reflex.
But kind of like putting that away and saying, no, it's kind of more my time. It's kind of more like to think about what I want, what I feel. And
it's time with Eric.
Yeah.
It's literally an appointment with yourself.
Yeah. And surprisingly, and it's giving yourself time. It's not necessarily, I don't like to use the word selfish too much because sometimes it has a negative tie to it. But giving yourself that time surprisingly gave me more energy. It made me more excited for the day. And I was able to kind of like pass that out to other people, to my workers, to customers.
It's funny. Like it's almost like you're like, is this leadership? It's like, that's leadership. And you're like, well, how do you know? Well, how many people are doing it?
Yeah.
And it's like, why are they doing it? Because they're not leading. Does that make sense? Like, it's weird, right? Like, you're like, Jacob, are you serious? Like, I'm being so serious.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to lie.
And in an odd occurrence, like giving myself that, I thought that I would take more out of like myself from work. But honestly, I'm giving myself back to it in a sense where it's much easier.
You have something to give.
Yeah. So like I'm much more happy, more excited, more pumped up whenever it comes to any aspect of the job. Stuff that I enjoyed at work, like I'm actually enjoying it now versus kind of like telling myself that I should be enjoying it. I'm actually enjoying it without having to like kind of push myself to it. So it's becoming easier.
Oprah said that one of her biggest revelations was when she saw how her energy affected others. Mm-hmm. In other words, bringing yourself to the moment, being present, having energy, bringing joy, wanting to impact, like to give energy. Mm-hmm. She saw how that impact, and that was one of her biggest aha moments. And this is Oprah. I mean, it's not like someone like, that's a pretty big moment for someone like, well, that was one of her big aha moments. Mm-hmm. And as subtle as that was, this conversation, that moment, it's like, that's there for you. Like, you can just remember this, and you'll have a copy of this recording, and you'll be able to come back to it. Mm-hmm. But it's like, we're experiencing that, and I often think, like, sometimes when I'm going to go meet to a party or meet new people, I'm just like, what am I bringing into this situation? Mm-hmm. Because if we're responsible for our own energy, we put ourselves in a leadership position where, like, it's subtle. So what have you noticed physically, Eric? So thank you for that. What have you noticed physically, by the way? And I have my own report on you, but what do you notice?
Physically, for sure, my strength and I guess my muscles, I'm feeling them a lot more. It's insane. Like just something as simple as like my arms after weeks, even like after the soreness, like I'm starting to just do my day-to-day stuff, and like if I put my hand here, like I feel the muscle there and I feel how developed it is. And I know, because I did it for years, I know what it used to feel like, and having that comparison of what I used to feel versus how I'm feeling like that, or my legs, like, and just like even when we first started, just that subtle like little bit of difference, a little bit of increase, like compelled me to like, okay, let's keep going. Like I'm seeing results.
And this is the tip of the
I'm
iceberg. I mean,
yeah.
it's really the tip of the, like Jake, someone would say, well, Jacob, it's really just the tip of the iceberg. I'm like, it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Which is completely like, that just excites me a lot more, because if this happened and I'm feeling already like this within a month, I can't even imagine how much better it's gonna get with like the second month, third month, like all the way to the year, like how much more it could be. So I'm very like gung-ho about like going through it.
Awesome stuff. So you got more muscle, you got more strength, and may I give you my report? What may I share? Can I share any metrics, like numbers of your
Feel
like,
free. I'm
like
completely
starting point, weight points. I don't know what I can share to the video.
Anything you want. I'm fine with everything.
Okay. So when you started, I've